explain myself to you.
Tell the ambitions no army of crazed cultists is going to sacrifice them on our watch. But try not to alarm them, which might be tricky. After I send out the call for allies, I'll escort Sombrin and the twins to Fort Redmayne. Right. Anyone with an army that can help us. You head to Leowin. I'm sure Captain Ryan would be happy for the Ivory Brigade to lend a hand. Beyond that, what about anyone else you helped here in Blackwood? Anyone have any soldiers they can spare? That's great. My brother Baragon always told me that adventures turn on the favors we collect along the way. So, who do you think we can count on? The legendary Argonian warriors? I read about them. You have to go ask them. I do hope they'll come. I really want to meet them. You'll ask them for me, right? We could use those kinds of skills at Fort Redmayne. Tell Sombrin and the twins I'll be with them shortly. I have a few more details to work out with the governor. After that, go see Captain Ryan and then meet me at Fort Redmayne. But don't take too long. I'd rather you were there when the cult attacks. You went to the Deadlands? And you took the ambitions with you? What were you thinking? What did you expect was going to happen in the Deadlands? That's where Mehrunes Dagon keeps all his stuff. Well, at least everyone made it back. Now, we just need to keep them safe from Vandacia and the Order of the Waking Flame.
Tired of walking anyway.
Something's going on, isn't it? Seems like every Blackfin Legionnaire is in a hurry today. Let me guess. Vandacia's coming for us again. I know the place. It's an old Imperial garrison, isn't it? I passed by it during my travels after Varen's forces released me from my vault. A fort is more defensible than Gideon anyway. I see the logic. But aren't you coming with us? I swear to protect the twins in your absence. I took Zaina at her word, and it nearly cost Kalia and Destron their lives. I'll die before I put them in danger again.
Off we go!
Did you see his new bow?
That must have cost him.
Mercenary, you have news? That explains the reports I received from my scouts. Increased and flagrant waking flame activity in the countryside around Gideon. I take it Von Dacia knows the ambitions are there? Governor Keshu is wise. Gideon isn't as defensible as Leowin. A battle inside the city limits will cause untold damage and deaths among the common folk. Very well, mercenary. The Ivory Brigade will stand with the Black Fin Legion. I'll rally the Ivory Brigade here in Leowin, and we'll meet you at Fort Redmayne. We'll stop Von Dacia and his cultists. We have to. The cultists seem to have moved away from Leowin. I don't think the legates are in any immediate danger, but they're also no longer trying too hard to hide their identity. They're gathering in great numbers and setting up a perimeter around Gideon.
Waking flame cultists.
Would you care to help a friend receive a blessing?
Whatever. Want to prove yourself? Fairly civilized. What could they hope to gain by attacking there?
You play the armor you're dealt, right? Or march with the armor you have? I'm terrible at metaphors. A solid fort at our backs, brave soldiers at our side. Now we just need to wait for Van Dacia and his cultists to show up. If we're being totally honest, I'm as nervous as the last leaf on the tree on the final day of fall. I'm a walk in the woods, loose an arrow at your back, fade into the trees kind of adventurer. An all-out war? That's not my style. I didn't I? Why, that was much worse than this, with all those angry briar hearts and harpies and catapults flinging fireballs every which way. Anyway, let's get to it. Talk to Governor Keshu and see where she thinks we'll do the most good.
Like a storm drawing near, Von Dacia's forces come. Time to take our places. I will command the outer defenses. Captain Rian and his brigadines will protect the gate. We will do our best to keep the cultists from getting past us and into the fort. I want you inside the fort near the guardhouse. That's where we'll place the ambitions for safekeeping. It will be up to you to deal with any cultists that get past us, until we can send soldiers to assist you. And remember, they have portal magic. I expect a two-pronged assault. The bulk of Vandasia's forces will attack the gate, while a smaller group uses portals to get inside. Portal magic is difficult. They could never move an entire army that way. Hence, we must defend from all directions.
Brigadines, take your positions! The enemy could arrive at any time! Evely, take the ambitions to the guardhouse!
Blackfin Legion, to me!
Any sign of Vandasia's forces, Captain Rian?
I just received word. The Waking Flame has arrived, and they have portal mages with them. Evely, take the ambitions to the guardhouse.
I'll protect them. You stay here and defend the courtyard.
Cut down the cultists!
Never used to fight this much until I met you.
Give the order and we'll release a volley!
Off with you, Swit!
We're about to lose! Lead the enemy to our target!
Heard you might need a little help in
I think
here.
I'm getting good at this. Well, I probably shouldn't be proud of that.
Oh, good, you're here. A little help, please. There are more of these abominations on the balcony. Well, I ran into a lot of Daedra, but no ambitions. Sombren must be trying to stay one step ahead of Vandasia's forces. Let's split up. Portals open all around us and Daedra poured in without warning. Sombren grabbed Kalia and Destron and blasted their way out of the fight. When you arrived, my cousins and I were doing our best to cover their retreat. I'm not sure, but they ran west. The Inner Bailey's in that direction. I wouldn't be surprised if Sombren plans to keep moving. Vandasia will have a hard time finding the ambitions if they don't stand still. And so will we. That's awkward.
Over here, mercenary!
Vandasia's forces. They're everywhere.
Sombren, I sense more of them. They're coming. All of you, under the shield! Time to move! Stay close! There's more coming! All of you, under the shield!
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
Keep going! Move!
Something. You're only delaying the inevitable.
Monster! Because of you, our parents are dead!
They were the chosen of Mehrunes Dagon. Rewarded beyond their station.
I'm going to kill you, Vandasia!
Who shall I sacrifice first? Perhaps the sister?
You leave Kalia alone, you bastard!
Destron!
You are an ambition, boy. Let me help you fulfill your purpose.
Destron! No!
Lord Dagon, I return to you the power of this ambition. Let the realms merge so you may walk among us.
Sky! And Mehrunes Dagon! How is he here?
This is my opposition. How easily I shall crush them.
Into the keep! Quickly!
The worlds are merging, Sombren. There is no escape. When you tire of running, I will be waiting in the courtyard.
I hate you! Just leave us alone!
Kalia, you can't unleash your power like that! You could lose control!
What does it matter? You saw what he did to Destron. He's going to do the same to us.
Broken branches? What happened here?
Vandasia sacrificed Destron, allowing Mehrunes Dagon to drag us into his realm. Evely, I need the book you're carrying.
You know about that?
It's part of Dagon. Just like Kalia and me. I sensed it the moment I met you. I think I can use it to weaken Vandasia. Give us a fighting chance.
All right. What are you going to do with it?
Take the fight to Vondacia in the courtyard. He won't expect that. Meanwhile, I need time to prepare.
Go fight the super powerful Daedric priest? How?
Just keep him busy. Then, with the help of this book, I'll take care of the rest.
All right. Sombra needs us to buy him some time. Let's get to the courtyard. I can't believe we lost Destron. I should have been there. Maybe together we could have saved him. Yes, I'd probably do the same if someone threatened my brother. Have you seen the sky outside? One ambition gave Vondacia enough energy to merge the entire fort with the Deadlands. What could he do with another ambition or two? Right. Should it concern us that he can read the book and it was all gibberish to me? Maybe the whole reason I found it and carried it all this time was so I could give it to Sombra now. Maybe he's meant to use it to stop Dagon. I hope that's true.
I can't believe it. He killed my brother. He killed Destron. Listen, but my brother and my parents. Vondacia has to pay for that. You were supposed to protect us. You were supposed to save Destron. Then let me help. Sombra has been holding me back. I don't care if I lose control, so long as I take Vondacia with me. Find him. Keep him busy. I'll make sure he pays for Destron.
I can't let Destron's death be for nothing. With this book, I think I can help us defeat Vondacia and once again separate the realms. I can't explain how being an ambition works. I don't really know myself. But I can sense things that are like me, that have the same taint of Dagon upon them. This book practically reeks of it. I think this is the Mysterium Xerxes. Zaina's contracts mentioned it. The rites it describes allowed Vondacia to imbue us with a portion of Dagon's energy. I think he took a little for himself along the way, which is why he's so powerful. I want to try to take that energy away from him. I'm not sure we left Blackwood. The two realms are merging around this fort. We could be on Nirn, or in the Deadlands, or maybe someplace in between. If I can weaken Vondacia and you can destroy him, that might break the connection and set us free.
Change of plans? What would you like to do?
Who's in my presence?
The Brotherhood sends its regards. Keep going. There's still cultist blood to spill here.
stop what is happening!
Get ready, Kalia! Just like I showed you!
You're going to pay, Vandacia! Mercenary, help us! This is for my brother!
Yeah. Merging the realms is delicate. One mistake and both could be destroyed. Master Tom! Give me that boy!
I'm with you, my friend. We'll defeat Vandacia together.
Torches!
My archers are ready. Give us a target. Arrows away!
We're ready! Tell Kalia when to strike!
Wanted our power? Here!
You can't avoid your fate's ambitions! More of the area. Slide the headlands. The greater Dagon's influence will be.
My brigandines are here to help. My archers are ready. Give us a target.
Getting winded.
We're about to lose. Lead the enemy to our target.
Kalia will attack Vandacia when you give the word.
We're not going to die for Mehrunes Dagon!
I grow tired of this game. You stand against Mehrunes Dagon's power. For Dagon, I need more power!
Vandacia's weakening!
Give the order and we'll release a volley.
We can drain Vandacia's power! Just give the order!
This is for my brother!
Enough of this! The Master wants it. He will have it.
Die, you bastard!
You defeated my high priest, mortals. That was unexpected. And before he completed emerging, that is unfortunate. Though this realm slips from my grasp, your fate is inevitable. You will join me or die on missions. It is why you were created.
We did it! We stopped Vandacia from merging the realms and opening the way for Mehrunes Dagon.
But my brother... Destron is still dead.
I failed Destron. But I won't fail you.
All right. Without Vandacia or his master, the cult doesn't stand a chance.
At least the sky...
I can't believe it! We defeated Vandacia, saved Sombren and Kalia, and sent Dagon running with his tail between his legs. Does he have a tail? Anyway, we won! Destron would be proud of his sister. She fought bravely through the entire battle. Yeah, I guess Varro Lupus was right. We did need that strange book. In fact, I think I was meant to give it to Sombren. I couldn't read a word of it, but he cast spells from it like it belonged to him. Sombren did good, that's for certain. And honestly, I'm glad to be rid of that book. Sombren seems to know how to handle it safely. I think it would be dangerous in the wrong hands. And I, for one, don't want any more bad dreams or waking visions.
Now I can add facing down a Daedric prince to my already impressive list of accomplishments. Food connoisseur, master assassin, consummate Vosa Sattel player, and now this. I suppose I should thank you for getting me mixed up in this. Nope. Vandacia made this personal, but I try not to make a habit of killing people for free. It's bad for business. You do what you have to. Me? I'm going to find a nice mammoth steak with a side of vegetables smothered in scuttled cheese sauce. Hey, I never claimed to be a hero. And despite our success today, I don't want to face Daedric threats on a regular basis. Then again, who knows what tomorrow will bring? Seeing you in action, I'm sure you'll turn up on a contract eventually.
I'm sorry about Destron. Whatever you need, I'm here for you.
I'm still alive. I can't believe I survived all that, but Destron didn't. It's not fair. None of this is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Easy to say, hard to do. Still, so many people fought to protect me today. Even though my heart is broken, for their sakes, I'll find a way. Destron would want me to. I hope so. Not just for my sake, but for the other ambition, whoever they are. Without Destron, they and Sombren are the only family I have left. I'll try to be there for them. I really will. For now, we're heading back to the temple if you need us.
I've been alone my entire life. First in my vault, then in my wanderings. I finally found a real family, and I let one of them get taken from me. I promise you, I won't allow that to happen again. For now. But I don't think it's over. There's another ambition to find. And I can't imagine Mehrunes Dagon and his followers leaving us alone after all the time and planning that went into creating us. I think we'll head back to the temple for now. I'm not sure. It belongs to Evely, not me. I'd like to study it, see if there's some way to free the ambitions and change our destiny. But I know it's also dangerous. Let me think about it a little more. Then I'll talk with Evely. Daedra spin great lies from small truth when it suits them. I know that now. It was Zaina's last lesson to me. We won't join him and I won't let him kill us. We just need to come up with a way to keep any of that from happening. Yes. I wonder who he is, or she. Are they still trapped inside a vault? Or did they find a way to escape, like I did? I hate to think of them alone and unprotected. But maybe it's better if they remain hidden. Right. I almost forgot about that. I need to figure out how to keep Kalia from being consumed by her ever-increasing power. And them, too, once we find them. I suppose I have a lot to consider, and not a lot of time to do it.
Governor Keshu made the right call bringing the ambitions here. Can you imagine what would have happened to Gideon if Mehrunes Dagon appeared over the egg and hammer? We didn't just save Sombren and Kalia. We saved Gideon. Maybe all of Blackwood. That seems to be the long and short of it. I'm sorry we couldn't stop Vandacia from murdering Destron, but at least we took care of that rotten tree stump in the end. Despite all that, I feel pretty good. It's not every day I get to save Tamriel. That would be too much to hope for. I'm sure some of them slipped away. It will take a while for them to find a leader as powerful as Vandacia, but I expect them to show up again at some point. Not by myself, I didn't. You helped. What started as an historic mystery turned into a tale of murder, living Daedric weapons, and the end of the world. How do we follow that? Oh, I know. With flagons of rot meth and lots of roast paws on a stick. What now? Can't we just rest for a while and bask in the glory? I know there's another ambition out there, and we need to keep Sombren and Kalia safe, but still. Oh, Keshu asked me to give this to you. A reward for defending Blackwood. I have a feeling you hate this sort of thing, but we need to head back to Gideon. Governor Keshu insists on throwing us a victory celebration. I wonder if there will be cake. I could really go for a big, gooey piece of cake. Oh, the best kind. I hear Governor Keshu really knows how to throw a party. Food and drink, music and dancing. And she wants everyone to be there. Sure. The gardens behind the governor's mansion are big enough to entertain an entire army. Hey, before you join us, can you check on Sombren and Kalia? Invite them to the party? They went back to the Temple of Dibella in Gideon. I'll meet you in Gideon after you collect Sombren and Kalia from the temple. I think we've earned a little relaxation, and a slice or two of cake, after everything we've accomplished here. Absolutely. I think I'm really cut out for it. You get to travel, meet interesting people, see ancient places, and you get to solve all sorts of riddles and mysteries. And sometimes people throw you a celebration party too. A party with cake! I'm from Grotwood. Have you met my people? It's all roasted this and roasted that, and even raw this and raw that too. You don't get to enjoy many pastries under Green Pact rules, you know. Knowing that you helped people, and seeing how much they appreciate it more than makes up for the dark times. You walk into town and people say, "Hey, it's Everly!" Soon the little kids around here will all have pigtails in their hair. Count on it.
Keep an eye out for happenings. You won't have any.
Bowstring
Hello? If you're looking for our guests, they're long gone. I know you. You brought those guests to our temple. Kalia and Sombrin and poor Destron. Everyone in town is talking about your deeds in Blackwood. You helped stop that traitorous Vendacia and his cult. Thank you for that. I did say that, didn't I? I suppose that even the charms of the Lady of Love can be too much for some folk. Not everyone can stand to bask in Debella's glory for too long at a time. But they were good people. I liked them all. I heard them talking about a ruin north of Gideon. I know that particular place well. Let me mark its location on your map. When you can spare a moment, come back and enjoy one of our ceremonies. All should open their hearts to the secrets of love.
I just came by to... Hey, where are Callie and Sombrin? I came by to find out what was keeping you in the ambitions. Where are they? What happened to Callie and Sombrin? A ruin? I wonder why they went there. Haven't those two had enough adventures after all they've been through? We should go find the ambitions or they'll miss the party. Did the priest say which ruin in particular? Lead on then. The party's going to start soon and we don't want to be late. I, for one, want to get a nice piece of cake. Or maybe a slice of pie? Oh, broken branches, I'll just have both.
What is it?
Let's ride!
How much longer, Sombrin? This place makes me feel uneasy.
Not long now. I'm almost... Oh, it seems we have company.
I told Sombrin we should have talked to you before coming out here, but he was so insistent. He wanted to try something with the book, away from other people, just in case. Sombrin thinks my only chance is if we return to the Deadlands. The nature of the realm naturally draws off my power, making it easier to control. Sombrin doesn't think so. He says that's the last place they'd look for us. I'm still attuned to the realm from the trial in the Ashen Forest. Sombrin believes he'll have enough time to teach me if I'm not in danger of imminently exploding. Worse? I suppose that depends on your perspective. It has been growing in intensity again, back at the same level as when we first left the vault. Sombrin is worried I don't have much time. That's why he's being so insistent.
I'm actually glad you found us. I didn't want to leave without an explanation. But I'm afraid that Callie doesn't have a lot of time. Callie's power is recharging faster than I anticipated. It will soon reach the point where I won't be able to help her. Then she'll either release it and destroy everything around her, or it will consume her. Either way, people die, including Callie. Use the Mysterium Xarxis to open a portal to the Deadlands? It's the only place I can think of where Callie will be safe. The realm naturally siphons off a portion of our power. That will give me time to teach Callie to control it on her own. It's a big place. Zaina taught me how to avoid notice there. It's the last place Dagon's followers will think to look for us. As soon as Kalia can control her power, we'll come back. I promise. Thank you, my friend, for everything. I'll return the book when we come back, Evely.
Now, poor Kalia. I hope Sombrin's right and he can help her. What, taking refuge in the Deadlands? That's like the sausage leaping out of the pan because it thinks the fire will be safer. As for me, I never want to visit the Deadlands again. Hey, it wasn't my book. I was just keeping it safe for... Well, as crazy as it sounds, I think I was meant to give it to Sombrin. He certainly did more with it than I ever could. And I'm not about to miss the bad dreams and the waking visions. We go to the party! It's taking place in the gardens behind the governor's mansion. To think, this all started because I was curious about a coded journal I found in Emperor Leovik's old retreat. We figured out the secret, and now we celebrate. I'll see you at the party. Last one there doesn't get any cake.
Tired of walking anyway.
That sounds delicious, assassin. You must leave me a copy of the recipe. Welcome to the celebration, mercenary. There are many here who wish to thank you and share a drink or two. But where are Sombrin and Kalia? I expected you to bring them with you. Choosing exile to spare others from danger is a noble decision. I wish them well, even as I worry about Sombrin and Kalia out there on their own. Everyone else has gathered. Eat, drink, talk to your friends. In time, I shall address the crowd. Anyone you like, they have all come to show you their appreciation. And do not leave too swiftly. I intend to boast of your accomplishments soon. I see Evely has arrived. Perhaps you should begin with her.
So this is what it's like being the hero everyone looks up to? Most of the stories I've read end with a hero riding off into the sunset before anyone can properly thank them. But I feel like we ought to stay for just a little while, don't you? I don't know about that, but I certainly feel more experienced. And I have you to thank. Well, you and Captain Ryan and Governor Keshu and poor Farrell Lupus. Can you believe this all started because I couldn't leave Emperor Leovik's secret alone? That's right, I almost forgot. And we should be ready to help Sombrin and Kalia when they return. I don't believe that Mehrunes Dagon and his followers are just going to leave them alone. I really thought the ambitions were actual weapons, though. Here, your share of the last of our compensation from Leowin. And a little something from me. I learned so much at your side. If you ever need any help, just send word and I'll come running. Oh look, I think Governor Keshu's ready to speak.
Welcome, people of Blackwood and honored friends. We have weathered a terrible storm, so now we celebrate. Many had a hand in this victory, including those who gave their lives for our cause. But I want to honor the two heroes beside me. Without them, all would have been lost. So stand tall and raise your cups to the sky. Remember those who fell and praise the deeds of those who lived. To victory!
I admit it's quite a story, but I know the difference between a tall tale and a large problem. I'll help however I can.
I shudder to think what your elven circus would consider far-fetched. I'm not so sure I believe it myself.
My, you're as free-roaming as a traveling circus. I wouldn't have expected we'd cross paths on the other side of Tamriel. I would invite you to join us as a guest performer, but our show is cancelled indefinitely. On account of drama, ironically. There's a more sinister mischief in Farmer's Nook than the sort the House of Reveries trades in. I hear of townsfolk disappearing, only to turn up and act oddly. We only set camp recently, but the locals fear we've somehow caused their plight. None. That farmer Hesef said his sister was among the afflicted, and she died recently. At least he thought she died, but she left no corpse. I must clear the troop's name. With the locals wary as they are, though, I need help, and I can pay. Hesef mentioned that 2 of his neighbors also had loved ones vanish. Braden DeVoe and Jahuz. Speak with them. They may be more open with a less grandiose traveler. You might also speak with Hesef directly, if you wish. Patching things up with my sister was easier than I expected. I should have given her more credit. They say you can never truly know another person, but talking helps. You should pay another visit. Maybe audition for real this time. Sleepy little towns like Farmer's Nook are the most in need of an escape from the mundane. We came to offer them some mirth and mystery, but it appears we've been upstaged. Well, our troop won't be outdone so easily. We have a reputation to uphold. Help, of course. I've devoted my life to liberating people from their troubles, however briefly. And if I can't do that from a stage, then I will take my talents where they are most needed. Have you forgotten already? I may have abandoned joining the Sapiarchy, but I was still a top candidate among many a talented scholar and mage. I don't have your experience as an adventurer, but I'm more suited to unraveling this mystery than most.
So, working with the mummers. They may seem strange, but you're safer resting at their camp than at the inn. Not to say Braden runs a poor establishment, mind. There's just strangeness afoot in our little village. Folk have been going missing of late, including my sister, Seal. Never for long, a few days. Just enough to plant a worry before they wander back as if nothing happened. But something did. They come back different. Like everything's unfamiliar. Weren't her memory. She could recall details down to where she last left the salt, but acted like she'd never tasted it. She'd bring up things I'd long forgotten as if they'd happened yesterday. Started dredging up old hurts we'd put past us long ago. Can't say. Felt like she wanted to relive the past, good and bad. Don't know what would have brought that on. We lead quiet lives now. Happy lives, I thought. Led, I suppose. She's gone now. If it was even her in the first place. Seal led me to our old swimming hole. Hadn't been there in decades. She dove right in like we did as kids. I looked away before she struck the water. She hit hard. When I screwed up the courage to look, just inky black water. She was gone. That's right. Even with that ink in the pool, I could tell her body weren't there. I searched around the swimming hole, too. Nothing. Not so much as a wet footprint, or even more of that vile ink, like she'd vanished. A lot from our childhood, mostly. If our parents were around, they were deep in the skooma, so Seal and I had to look out for each other. Not so much anymore. The years have been peaceful here. I suppose we'd grown distant before she vanished. No. Maybe. We'd sit down for meals together and tend the farm together, but there's not much to talk about in Farmer's Nook. Another field planted, another day gone by. Wish she'd try. We were all a bit shaken by what happened with Igmund, but things were getting back to normal. Until Seal went out to collect logs and didn't return. I begged the others to help me search for her, but they feared they'd vanish too. Truth is, I didn't make it far myself. I thought I heard things in those woods. Even during the day, it felt like something was watching. When she showed up at the house again, I nearly fainted. I should have been relieved, but I felt haunted. Can a ghost take your hand? Make a meal? If she slept, I never saw it. I barely slept myself. The staring was the worst. Felt like she was always watching, smiling. When she'd blink, it was like one eye was a hair shy of the other. Gave me chills.
Ah! Careful! You might have scared the mayor. Who are you? What do you want? You've come about Bugtail. I knew someone would, but my neighbors have kept their distance since he returned. I cannot blame them. I scarcely wish to take him back myself, not after Igmund and Seal, but I couldn't bring myself to turn him away. Yes? Or rather, I fear I will share his fate. Bugtail rode out to deliver a horse despite my protest. The gelding returned. He did not. Before I would have been the first to go looking, but I dreaded he'd return, like the others. And he did. Dead, or gone, for now. Even the horses could tell something was wrong with him. I fought with this one's reins as he groomed her, but she started and kicked Bugtail. Ink sprayed everywhere. When I cleared my eyes, it was all that remained. I do not wish to speak of what has happened here, but I will. How many more will vanish and return to haunt us if no one tries to stop it? What is it you wish to know, stranger? In the far-off land of Elsewhere, I was taken by Sea Elf privateers and sold into Imperial slavery. Bugtail had been a slave for many years when I arrived. Like many Khajiit after Queen Eurexia invaded Elsewhere, we bonded because we spoke so little. You may think me a spinner of tall tales, but I swear I speak no lies. Bugtail and I were languishing under the hot sun, digging new metal for the Imperial Queen, when a dragon swooped out of the sky and scorched the land. In the chaos, we ran. I hope those days have better prepared you for our troubles than I. Truthfully, I do not know what scared me more, seeing that giant fire-belching beast, or my quiet friend standing at my door like a phantom. I would not have suspected anything amiss had I not known of what happened to Igman and Seal. There was nothing sinister in his look or manner. If anything, he regarded me more warmly than he had in years. Normally, he could go days without a word. He seemed to want to reminisce about our more adventurous days, before we escaped to Farmer's Nook and settled down to raise horses. They were livelier times, but I would not trade them for what I have now.
Let's ride!
I saw several Reachmen run north, headed home. Me a werewolf devout.
We're out of meat and no hot meals. If those are luxuries to which you're accustomed, you can keep on moving and find another inn. What are you, some sort of adventurer? Yeah. Yeah, you look the part. Sorry I was short with you. Since Igman passed, I've had to work twice as hard and twice as long to run the inn. It's done my manor no favors. Damned fool. He wanted to build a bonfire and drink the night away like we used to. Haven't seen Igman down mead like that since we were barely men. He lost his legs and tumbled into the fire. Nothing but cinders left by the time I doused the blaze. Not so much of a scrap of clothing. Just black, tarry ashes. Never seen anything throw such a thick black smoke. But it didn't smell like you'd expect. Hair and burned flesh. More like old hay or musty linens. It wasn't natural. I want to know what happened to my brother. Whether he's alive or truly dead. Even if the truth says he really did die in that fire, at least I can put my doubts to rest. What do you wish to know? No. Things were as they usually are in Farmer's Nook. Uneventful. It's exciting times when our little inn sees more than a couple travelers in a month. Ever since Igman got lost, things have been nothing but trouble. 2 others disappeared since Igman, and all 3 were acting strange before they met untimely ends. If that's even what you could call it. No one wanders from the village now. Some folk are sleeping in my inn just to stick close. That's right. He'd gone to get supplies from Gideon. What should have been a couple of days turned into more than a week. I'd begun to fear that he'd been robbed and left for dead on the road, but he wandered back into town like nothing had happened. Said he got lost. As if he hadn't walked that road 1,000 times. I'd have accused him of gambling our money away on toad races, but he had every piece of gold he left with. How do you spend a week lost in the wood and not look worse for wear? Like he didn't have a care in the world. He seemed to be enjoying even the usual drudgery. Never thought I'd miss his belly aching over the chores, but he just didn't seem himself.
Wait a moment, stranger. I need to speak with you. So you're the one's been asking questions about the people who've gone missing, then come back wrong? I don't like involving strangers in our affairs, but my daughter's gone. Not the first time, or even the fourth, that Anise has run off, but... well, you've heard what befell the others. I'm worried she's in real danger. A few days ago, I punished her for neglecting her chores again. She must have snuck out in the night. I couldn't find hide nor hair of her in the morning. She hasn't been home since. She's a stubborn one. But normally she'd have come back by now. I just want to know she's all right. I hate asking a stranger to do this, but no one else has the spine to leave the Nook right now. And I can't go traipsing after that rapscallion like I used to. Will you find Anise and bring her back to me? Our house is just over there, on the west side of town. There may be something among Anise's things that points to where she ran off to. But my nerves are too frayed to see it. I'm at my wit's end. She doesn't want to live here in Farmer's Nook, I can tell you that. That girl's been trying to get out of here since she was old enough to walk. She's still convinced she's going to travel to Abba's Landing and join some pirate crew. It's not like I raised her to embrace a life of piracy. It's those books her father got her when she was young. Filled her head with ridiculous tales of far-off lands, adventures, and riches. Look, I sailed in my younger days. It's not so glamorous. Sailing is days of rope burns and sunburns. It's being tossed about the cabin while a storm rolls your ship. It's bad food, stale water, and wondering if you'll ever make it home. And that's not the life she's dreaming, though she won't listen.
I like reading too, you know, if you ever need an excuse to get me something.
We don't have much, I know. Anise never fails to remind me. Have you found anything that might lead to my daughter? That's just some old handbill Anise had been hanging on to. Months old. Some vessel seeking fresh-faced deckhands that's long since pulled up anchor. I pitched it to the hearth after our last argument. Probably why she left, but not where. When Anise was little, we couldn't keep her away from it. She'd grab it when we weren't looking and batter the walls and stairs, pretending it was her pirate sword. Drove my husband crazy. I've made do for so long I never bothered to replace it. What's that doing out? A niece's plan for a fort. My husband built it for her when she was about 6. Well, it must be a moldering wreck by now. Unless... if she hasn't run off to join that elf circus, she might be there. It was east of here, in the hills.
Ah, you're off to find this Annie's girl, then. Tell me what you've learned. I wasn't able to overhear everything. You've been gone for some time. You managed to persuade the locals to share their stories with you, yes? Did their firelight tales share any common themes? Restless phantoms returning to say their last goodbyes before being spirited away once more? This really is beginning to sound like a ghost story. It's all a little too coincidental, don't you think? There has to be a common cause. You and Hesef have been our only visitors at the camp. If Annie's has only recently gone missing, there may still be a chance for us to find her before she becomes the latest victim in this ghost story. Do you have any leads? Seeking out a more comforting time, no doubt. Let's hope she hasn't escaped into the arms of a monster. I'll follow your lead. My expertise in stage combat won't do us much good, but I have a few other talents and tricks up my sleeve. Footprints coming here and heading somewhere else. Seems our pirate raided the pantry before she left. She planned to be gone a while. I wonder what adventures this tiny sword has seen. A list of departures. Annie's had a mind to travel. I can picture our young heroine, wielding her imagination like a saber and cutting her way through all manner of adventure. I crave adventure and freedom. Play is my only escape. I come here to plan. I fantasize about leaving. Doubt holds me back. I need someone to believe in me. So often I'm alone, but today I have a visitor. Someone I trust. I go with them. I've never been more excited. I believe I have thrust to the heart of the matter. Hear me out. Getting into character, you could say. Preparing for a part is all about understanding my role. How they think, how they feel. Anything and everything about who they are. I have always had a good head for details, and it serves me well as an actress. She's young, or at least young at heart. She's unhappy with her life, but she feels trapped. She has a dream to follow, but she's too scared to go it alone. Only now, she's found help. One place to sleep, yet 2 mugs on the crate, both unfinished. And of course, 2 sets of footprints heading south, into the marsh, dancing all the way. The only way forward is to follow in their steps. Shall we dance too? I don't know who Annie's met out here, but the clues suggest that she wasn't in danger. Yet. We shouldn't dawdle. Someone she trusted enough to share a drink with. There's little doubt in my mind that she left with them voluntarily. The question is, was this person really who they appeared to be? We won't know the answer to that until we catch up with them. That might very well be the case, though I have to wonder why she'd leave her pack behind if she had no intention to return. I don't like meddling in someone's family affairs, but let's confirm she's all right before we jump to any conclusions. The tracks lead to this ruin. Did Annie's come here seeking adventure? We should look around. Despite the smell, I don't think that's a funerary urn. The ashes are too fresh. This book is well worn, but hardly old. Given the subject matter, I'd wager it belonged to Annie's. There are bits of paper in this brazier, but most of these books are too soggy for tinder. Well, I believe Annie's came here and performed some sort of ritual, and not the sort conjured from an overactive imagination. Whoever she followed here convinced her to make an offering to this place. I'm certain that well-worn adventure book was a dear possession to Annie's. She wouldn't have torn pages from it for a lark. She burned them in that brazier with her own blood for some ritual purpose. Daedric rituals weren't on my curriculum in the College of Sapiarchs, but I've studied enough magic to puzzle this out. There's a good chance Annie's will return to town, like the others. If she does, confront her about this. If Annie's does return to Farmer's Nook, be careful confronting her. The last thing we want is for her to do something drastic and come to harm like those who came before her. Afraid my witty repartee won't be enough to keep me out of trouble? I'm hurt. Trust me when I say I know how to make a dramatic exit when I need to, but if I don't return to town in a short while, assume the worst.
Niece, everything all right?
You? Your mother's looked all over for you. Where have you been?
Ugh, I ran away again, all right? Just be glad I came back at all. What's the big deal? This is the 7th time I tried running away in 3 years. Why are they all gawping at me like they're afraid to blink? Do I know? No, I don't know you. Why do you care? And none of those people disappeared. They went after their dreams. I'm not the only one who has those, you know? Nobody wants to be stuck in Farmer's Nook for their whole life. They just didn't want anyone to miss them. It's why I'm here now. I didn't want the last time my mom saw me to be after another fight. But they have to let us go sometime. What? No, it's not like they're buried in a crypt or anything. I'm just trying to say I'm not the only one who felt trapped here. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I don't even know you.
I hate to interrupt, but... may we have a word in private? So, that's Anis Favrod. What do you make of her? How apropos, considering that little library we found is a shrine to Hermaeus Mora. Though I'm still not sure how the Demon of Knowledge fits into this puzzle of ours. Why would Anis consort with it? Perhaps I should have made an offering of my own? It certainly looks that way. I didn't find anything relating to the ritual that was performed at that shrine, but some of those moldy tomes shed a little light on things. The Aliads who used to live out here revered Mora as their principal prince. The shrine we found was simply one of many ruins. I discovered record of another ruin near to Farmer's Nook. If we're dealing with a cult, or some other servants of Mora, it would make the perfect hideaway. What do you say we go check it out? The ruin I spoke of is north of town, not too far. I'll have a word with the innkeeper and Hesef about keeping Anis occupied while we work, but if you wish to speak with anyone else before we head out, I'll wait here. We have reason to suspect that Anis is somehow involved in this mystery. Better to assume she is playing the role of the villain until we know more. Even if she's simply another victim of circumstance, it's safer for everyone that she stay put. This looks right. After you. Adventurers first.
Stand back, you swab! You cannot board this vessel until you have satisfied me, the Mighty Flicker!
Look out, she's... Mighty Flicker? From the saga of Captain Wereshark? That I did not expect.
Ha! Think you can sail with me, wee one? I've felled giants like trees! I've slapped a dragon around until it got down and licked my hand. I've kicked Molag Bal in the arse once, and he begged me to do it again! Ha ha! Answer me this. Why do we sail? And there you have it. What worth is booty if it isn't earned? What is a battle if you don't cut a bloody swath through your enemies? We sail for honor, for glory! Now brace yourself, wee one. You face the Argonian next!
The sea
swallow you like so many others. The high seas run deeper than any river, filled with the blood of enemies. A challenge awaits you, sailor. Are you prepared to give our journey your all? Or will you wilt like a mushroom in summer? Tell me, speak true. Why do we sail? What use is a pirate for the possessions of the dead? All too often they are old, or noxious, or cursed. The river washes away all things, living or dead, and all one's possessions. All returns to Sithis. Think again, pirate, and answer me true. I erect the spine of respect. I have fought countless monsters alongside the were-shark, yet none has ever bested me in battle, much to my regret. One day, I hope, I will meet that which can kill me. Now, face two scars, and rejoice in Sithis.
Think you have what it takes to join the were-shark's crew? I doubt it. So, you've impressed the big bear and the hard turtle. So what? I walk in the shadow and sleep in the trees. I drink snake venom and piss-honeyed mead. I'm the baddest, sharpest, meanest pirate on the high seas. But I don't sail alone. Why? That's right, we're family! Every one of us, from the captain himself to the lowliest swabber of decks, is one big, happy, fierce, terrifying family. No mere crew can hold a candle to us, because we're not a crew, we're blood. Welcome aboard, kin.
Your performance could have used more verve, but it seems the Guardians aren't judging on enthusiasm. Let's head inside. Oriel above. It's Anis and all the others. They appear to be alive. Let's try waking them.
Gold. So much gold.
Dare ye cross sabers with red Anis? Huh.
Yes. Bring Bucktail more sweet rolls.
Oh, darling. That's lovely.
It's a dream. They're all dreaming. This is no normal sleep, but it's oddly benign for a curse. None of these people appear to be in distress. In fact, they seem to be dozing quite serenely. Some of them have been missing for weeks, yet they show no signs of poor health. Not from the spell they're under, no. Though why they were made to sleep and what our mystery stranger intends for them is still very much unknown. I believe so, but I'm not entirely certain we should. Right now, the spell isn't doing any harm, but tampering with it could change that. I'd like to get a better idea how Anis and the others came under this spell before I start striking it through. Now that you've rehearsed your role, let's cast you as a pirate in her fantasy. See if you can reach Anis within her dream and get her to wake up. When you're ready, place a hand on Anis's forehead and start counting sails.
alive! The dead have come for us!
If you came to help, you have my thanks. But it's not needed. Looks like Prince Vogger is going down with his ship. Not that the ship is going down, I mean. It's just... you know what I mean. What did you... No. I'm Red Anise, the Crimson Shrike, and I'll skewer any swab who says otherwise. Stow it, sailor. With Prince Vogger dead, we need to find his treasure. Check his cabin, while I search the rest of the hold. This adventure isn't done until we've secured that treasure. Savvy? That's it then? Well, let's have a look! Prince Vogger's treasure was a book. Didn't know old Deadeyes could read. Well, let's get it back to Captain Wereshark. Maybe it'll help break the curse. Red Anise to you, Swabby. This book, this is about Captain Wereshark and Flicka and the others. I don't understand. This is all a story. But where am I? Why aren't I in the book? I remember it now. I remember it all. Damn it, Cress. You said I could finally escape, and no one would come for me. They wouldn't even know I was gone. That was the deal. Cress said that they would make it so I could finally live out my dreams. I could have this life, and they would take my place. I'd finally be free of Farmer's Nook, and my mom wouldn't ever need to worry about my life of piracy. I know. It was too perfect. I knew it was too perfect. Dreams don't last. That's why they're dreams. Just a few more moments. It was just getting good. I just want to celebrate victory with the captain once before this is all over. Maybe steal a kiss before I go. Please, I can tell you about Cress when we're back in the ruin. Just leave me with the dream a little longer.
Would it kill them to run away? Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
You're awake! Good. It's been a while since I've worked any magic that didn't involve sleight of hand. Anise is still soundly asleep. Could you not get through to her in the dream? So, she stepped right into the story that's inspired her since she was little. That explains the ritual with that book. How better to keep her under the spell than to put her in a prison she wouldn't want to escape? Insidious? You're telling me this crest didn't take her place? They traded for it? And not just her, but everyone here. What does Cress have to gain from these bargains? To infiltrate the town? What could a sleepy village offer someone who can create dreams? The deal they made isn't so harmless as they might have believed. You've seen how frightened the villagers are. How many more need to vanish before Cress has whatever it is they want? They won't like it, but we should wake them and end this farce. Here we go. Pray that a rude awakening is the worst they have to suffer. It's ready. Wake Anise, and the curse will break.
Farewell, Captain.
No! He promised!
My gold!
My sweet rolls!
All right, so we're awake. Dreams shattered. A life of brooms and boredom ahead. Happy now? Cress is different. They looked like Bugtail when they approached me, but his clothes were covered in ink and he seemed unwell. They confessed that they weren't who they appeared to be, but they needed my help. Cress didn't look suspicious to me, just sad, vulnerable. They said they screwed up again, that they couldn't be who they were trying to be. Cress knew I didn't want to stay in Farmer's Nook, so they offered to take my place. I think they were running away too, from a life they didn't want to go back to. You know how many times I tried to do that? But I could never just leave my mom behind, alone. I thought we'd all be happy this way.
She would not.
Mother?
Much as I love a happy ending, we haven't quite reached the conclusion just yet. You should speak to Anice's mother about the imposter. We mustn't let Cress escape. It could be that the two spells were mingling. That's not something seen often. Or perhaps it's simply that this Cress person was also inspired by Anice's dream. Why indeed? It's easy to guess what motivated these people to pursue their wildest dreams, but the workings of this Cress's mind are inscrutable. What would you do if you were them? Would you leap at the chance to live a perfect fantasy? That's the rub, isn't it? Dreams are selfish things. To chase them, you risk leaving things behind, maybe everything. We all have to decide what we're willing to sacrifice in pursuit. Not everyone possesses your sense of obligation. They have a look about them, one I've seen before. It's the look of a skooma addict, sick and desperate on the street, lost without their escape. With the help and support of those who love them, one can hope. Ultimately, it will be up to each of them to decide what's most important to them.
Where are we? Some kind of tomb? Where's my treasure? Last I remember, I was in my treasure room. Wait, so this is real? The dream is gone? My treasure's gone? Why would you do that? Why would he think I'm dead? That's not what Cress promised. He said he'd just be me. He even agreed to do my chores. Was that all a bunch of hogwash? Heck of a way to go. Wait, is Cress dead then? Damn it. I guess there's no hope making another deal.
How could you do this? How could you wake me? Cress said I would live in that dream forever. It was a damned sight better than this. I had a castle, servants, suitors hanging off my every word. I had everything I ever wanted. You don't know what it's like for us, growing up. We had nothing. We still have nothing. Hesef? Hesef seems happy with his plow and his pigs. He's a grown man, and more capable than I am at fending for himself. He doesn't need me anymore. And Cress was supposed to keep him company. We barely speak anymore as it is. Dead? Oh, Hesef, I never wanted that. I suppose I need to talk to him, like we used to. He deserves that much.
So delicious, so moist, and rich and warm. So much frosting. This one can just barely still taste them. The sweet rolls. The most delicious, moist, warm, fragrant sweet rolls to ever leave a baker's oven. Bugtail ate them often. Bugtail had them all. Yes, what else would one dream about? Have you never known the ecstasy of sweet moon sugar cream melting upon your tongue? This one has not tasted true sugar since he left elsewhere. He has missed it so. So he could, if he were satisfied with iced rolls grown stale from weeks on the road. But when one offers the chance to have them at their freshest and most perfect, always and forever, why would Bugtail not take such a bargain?
Oh, thank you for finding my girl. I'd never imagined she'd have gone to such lengths to get away from here. I should have listened sooner. I followed you. I was glad to see Annie's back in town. But I knew deep down that wasn't my girl, and watching her act the part made the worry in my gut so much worse. I had to see for myself. Back at the Happy Crow, I told Brayden he could put whatever she liked on my tab if it kept her occupied. If you wish to find the freeloader, that's where she'll be.
We will trust Mile to see these people safely back to town. You and I should find Cress at once.
Hey, you! Have you seen Anise? Have you seen Anise? She ran off. I knew I shouldn't have let Hesef watch her alone. Mile asked me to keep the girl occupied, so I kept her mug full and listened to her go on about her pirate stories. I was getting famished, so I asked Hesef to watch her while I made a stew. That was the last I saw her, until I heard Hesef calling. They were playing cards when she just bolted out of her chair like a snake bit her and ran out the door. He chased her, but Hesef's not much of a runner. Said Anise was headed east, out of town. Mile's going to have my hide for this. Hold on, real Anise? Who was it we've been watching this whole time?
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. You're the one I don't know. Why are you here? I didn't run away again, I promise. Excuse me? You don't even know me. I am a niece. I can prove it. Ask me anything. I'm her twin sister. I can't be a niece anymore, I know. Maybe I could be someone else. What about you? Can I be you?
Enough of this charade, Cress. Off with your false face.
What are... Ah!
You're a Daedra?
Wait! Don't hurt me. I didn't do anything. I just gave them what they wanted. I just want to live. Like you. I'm so tired of watching. I don't want to go back. Don't make me go back. To the unbound library of the one who knows. To record what was observed. That is our purpose. To watch your lives and ink the details down. Day in, day out. Always the same. They know it too. The people here. That's why I offered an escape. I kept getting it wrong. Being a person. Despite all I knew, I kept making mistakes. Bad, painful mistakes I couldn't undo. So I had to try again. And again. Life is hard, but that makes it interesting. Please, let me stay. Don't send me back. Yes, please. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I won't cause any more trouble. Well, I don't know what I'll do without a mortal form, but I'll think of something. I need a mortal pack to do anything more than create an illusion. I traded dreams because they are the neighbor of knowledge and within my reach. I don't have much else to offer a mortal in exchange. Correct. The terms are not important, only the bargain matters. If I find someone willing to form a less troublesome pact, then maybe I could stay. This is where the one who knows sent me. It is what I know. I thought I could live here and no one would treat me any differently. I could finally experience all the things I'd only observed. Friendship, love, family, mead. Mead was good. To know, as they must. Your tiny pupil suggests that is insufficient. The one who knows seeks all knowledge. We observe so that all becomes known. We are the one's eyes, and we are multitudes. Alone, I suppose I am. I had not considered that. I will no longer be a part of the one, but something separate. It's unsettling, but also exciting. The one who knows watches most. The one seeks not to change, but to observe. If the one sees me here, they will know what was once unknown. I would return to Apocrypha and resume the catalog of all things until I've exhausted my knowledge, and the one who knows casts me into the world to observe again.
that would not be, in mortal terms, for a very long time.
So, this pitiable creature wants to escape its lot in life, too. Even Daedra dared to dream. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't feel some sympathy for its plight. I know that suffocating feeling far too well, and the desperation to escape it. I know what it's like to be blinded by the need for liberation. Cress and I both caused more pain than we ever intended. Misguided as Cress was, I don't believe they acted in malice. There aren't many stories of compassionate Daedra, but it seems at least some of them might be true. The question is, does this little Daedra's story have to end in tragedy? It may fly in the face of common sense, but I think Cress might have the makings of a fine player. They're a bit unrefined, but taking on a new role seems to come naturally, and they'll never forget their lines. I could sponsor them to the house. I thought so, and my eye for talent is one of the best among the players. By the time Cress presents themselves before the Grand Maestro, I will have transformed them into a master thespian. I'll stake my reputation on it. All's well that ends well, as they say. This certainly wasn't the direction I expected this story to take, but a good mystery always keeps you guessing. You were a grand co-star. If we ever adapt Investigator Vale for the stage, I'll be sure to call. All right, Cress. I have a deal for you.
You do? Does this mean I can stay?
No, not in Farmer's Nook, anyway.
Oh. Does it mean I don't have to go back to the library?
Yes. And you will get to live a great many incredible lives.
I can? What do you need me to do?
Watch and learn. You're going to be my apprentice. Now, let's get you a mask. Now, if you're going to be a proper hopeful, I'm going to need you to take a form similar to one of my players. Can you do that?
Oh, yes! With your help, that will be easy! How is this?
You'll have no difficulty with brisk scene changes, certainly. Now, for a name that speaks to your soul, what about Dreamer?
Dreamer. I like that very much.